Hi there, I just wanted to make a quick video on my new guitar, which is a PRS Paul Reed Smith SE limited edition. This is limited because it's got Burl Laurel as a finish on here, as a veneer on the top. And this here is not a stain, this is part of the wood. I thought it was a stain when I was going to buy it, but just wanted to show you this guitar. I'm doing a lot of work on it at the moment. Let's have a look. It's nice that it's got the Burl Laurel on the headstock as well. I'll probably bring another video of this fully modified, but I'm starting to do a few little mods on it. I've already replaced the the capacitor inside. It's a 0.022 microfarad capacitor in there. I replaced it with an orange drop type capacitor, which is better quality, but I'm thinking of changing it for a 0.033, which will give me a more mellow tone. See, it's a mahogany body. Burl Laurel veneer. I don't know if you can see that. It's made in Indonesia. Now these tuners are not the original PRS. I took them off because they were a bit notchy. They weren't great. It might have been because they wore out, but I don't think the PRS tuners are the top quality on the SEs anyway. So I've replaced them with Grover. And Grover goes straight in, and they're much better quality. So that's the Grover tuners I put in there. I set this up myself, this guitar. As you see, the bridge there is floating and parallel, or pretty much anyway. I might have to adjust that actually, but I set the pickups heights. I set the string action. A way to check the nut. I've had a lot of problems with the nut. It was cut too deep when I purchased it. It wasn't new purchase. I purchased it second hand. You can't get these new anymore because it's the limited run of this Burl Laurel. And the nut here is a graphite nut. I originally knocked this nut off, and I was going to replace it with a bone nut thinking it was plastic, but it isn't. This is a graphite nut. So when it fell on the floor and made a chinkling sound, I knew it wasn't a plastic nut, and it's solid. So I thought, I'm not going to replace that, I'll try and repair it. So I tried this super glue and baking powder to raise the height of the strings, but I found when I changed the strings from 9s to 10s, which is what I play on, 10 strings, it sticks a little bit. So I've had to attempt to widen the slot here. To check whether your strings are sticking, you'll find that when you tune the guitar, it will not go up in pitch properly and uniformly. It's because the string is sticking here in the groove. Another way to check the string height, you want to press down on this fret and see if you have any movement between this string and the fret. And if you do, the string height's okay. You shouldn't have too much movement, but as a rule of thumb, it should be about 0.5 millimeter movement or less. But as long as this string travels down to that first fret, then you know that's okay. This isn't perfect. I need to work on this a bit more. When I got this, the bridge wasn't floating. It was flat to the surface. In fact, it was somebody had raised these screws high, so there was quite a distance there. There's probably about 3 millimeters or 4 millimeters between this edge here and the bottom plate here, the top of the guitar body, and this was actually decked down to the ground, so that's completely wrong. what you need to do is set it so there's about 1.5 millimeters or 1.6 millimeters between the bottom of this plate and there, and then you have to adjust it at the back with the springs, the claw and the springs. Adjust the block so that the tension of the springs pulls this dead level. I've got it there. It's pretty much level there. I've been using the tremolo. I noticed as well that this here, it should have a screw to tighten this up so that the tremolo arm doesn't fall out. So I'm going to, the screw's missing. I don't know whether it's supposed to be a grub screw or a proper screw, so I'm going to look for a screw to put there so I can tighten this up, because this is very loose. The other thing I'm going to do, this here is push-pull. This splits the coil, so obviously here is the bridge pickup and you split the coil, so it's just this pickup that sounds. Obviously when you push it down, then it's the humbucker there. It's a similar sort of thing really as normal. In the middle it's two humbuckers. When you pull this up, you have split here and split here. And then this one here is full humbucker, pull it up, split on this one. Now you might notice something. I also reversed the position of this pickup. Normally this zebra pickup, the white, should be closest to the bridge. But what I've found is when you put it in split pickup mode, and it's just this pickup, because it's so close to this point here, obviously you get more treble at this end, closest to the point, because the string obviously doesn't vibrate so much nearest the end there. It vibrates a lot more here. So I turned this pickup upside down, just took these 4 screws out, turned it around so it's upside down, and because it's further away from the bridge, it doesn't sound so weedy and thin at this end, so you can do that. I don't think it's worth replacing the pickups, because in my experience it's more the electronics that makes a difference to the sound rather than the pickups. Obviously pickups do make a difference. If I was to go out and buy some Gibson 57s and stick them in there, then it will sound really quite nice. But I think generally a lot of pickups for this sort of output level that are humbucking, there's not a lot of difference in the tones. You can hardly hear it, in fact, in some cases. So I think the electronics, the capacitor that you have connected to the volume and the tone pot, makes more difference, and also the proximity of the pickup to the string as well makes a lot of difference to the sound. Obviously when you raise the pickup closer to the string, you will get more output, but you can stifle the sound as well. It can sound a bit strange if you put it too close, and also it can affect the intonation as well if the pickup magnet is really close to the string. So I've backed this down quite a bit. It reduces the output, but it makes the sound a bit more open. So anyway, this is my guitar. I'm not a guitar player per se really. I'm a bass player. I have my basses, but this guitar was just, when I saw it, I just thought it's absolutely beautiful finish. And yeah, so this is my thing at the moment. I bought Eventide effects processor, Eventide Space, and I'm getting some really nice sounds through this. So I'm going to start learning a few more chords other than the basic ones that I know at the moment for guitar. And yeah, I'll bring you more videos soon on modification and things. Thanks very much for watching.